What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care, and being part of that team in 2022, 2023, and 2021. Did it in crazy order there, reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. As always, like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Want to shout out also that I am a featured contributor along with these two wonderful ladies on the Fly Nubian Queen Network that's run by Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. And we want to say hail up to them. And that network, that YouTube channel has over 570,000 subscribers. So we're very happy, and we don't take it for granted to be broadcasting. And I see a lot of people already in from Fly Nubian Queen already. So heart it up, share it out, fave, whatever you want to do, make comments, chime in from wherever you're chiming in from. But let's bring on the real stars of the show. Aisha K. Staggers, Laura Lala Key, what's going on?
Hey, it's been a beautiful week.
Oh, well, of course it's been a beautiful week because it was your birthday week.
It was. But you want to know what was really cool about it? Like, I kid you not. There was a rainbow that followed me all day. It was a perfect bow, and it was thick and really, really bright. And all day it followed me until the sun went down. And I have never experienced anything like that before. To me, it was reaffirming because I've really been praying over some things, and I feel like I got my answers, and just spending the day with hubby. So, it doesn't get more blessed than that,
Very nice. Very nice. What's your week been like, Aisha K?
I haven't been feeling well this week, earlier in the week, but I'm feeling better. But back issues just killing me. Yeah. So I'm going to actually break down and go to the ER tomorrow. Because another sleepless night and I can't do it. But yeah.
And then we both had the cooties too. We both had like head colds and stuff. Yeah. Today's the first day I can breathe.
Yeah. So I think it's just stress.
Yeah.
Related. I feel like I have a big old knot in my back.
So, you know what? Do you have one of those massage machines?
I'm ticklish. We're in the school with this kid, and so I wouldn't be able to stand it.
Oh, come on! Really?
I mean, my daughter was putting an icy hot patch on me about 30 minutes ago, and I couldn't sit still.
You need one of these machines.
You can't. You're right by you, Dr.
You need one of those. That's what you need.
What I need to do is de-stress. This job stuff is driving me crazy. That's what I need to do.
Oh, you know what? And I owe you some video stuff, some shorts.
Yes.
I have some. Well, yeah, and that's another thing. I've been posting the shorts. Have been doing really well on the YouTube page, by the way. So I've been doing some research on it and watching the guy I am on Saturday mornings. I'm gonna put his link in our private chat. He's really good. He does 3 hours every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Answers questions, and I'm beginning, I'm not saying I got it figured out, beginning to figure out the YouTube algorithm. Not saying I got it down, but it certainly helps if you have over 1,000 subscribers. That is a big thing.
Okay. I got a long way to go.
Election results from South Carolina just came in. It's no surprise. It's no surprise.
Okay, so we can move on.
I just want to know by how much Nikki Haley lost.
There you go. But, Aisha, you're talking about healthcare. We're just doing the appetizer. We're going to get into I was chatting with Heather from the Washington area today. She loves you guys. She's not be able to make it tonight, but she goes, those ones, that's the lady says, those ladies are crazy. They say that we're going to come after them. I said, no, they're not. But she said, she talked about how expensive healthcare is in the U.S. And even the last year or so, she had to go to the hospital. It was a 3-mile drive. Guess how much she got charged? And thank goodness she had insurance. Guess how much she was charged?
For the ambulance?
Yeah.
Oh, $600.
Should I be the late Bob Barker? Higher.
900.
1,000.
Higher.
1,500.
Lower.
1,300.
$1,200.
$1,300. She says, I'm glad I had
That's
insurance.
crazy.
$1,300 for an 3-mile ambulance.
3 mile.
Yeah, my insurance negotiates. I think it's like between 600 and 800
Wow.
for it. That's what they negotiate.
Okay.
And I mean, the last time I had to ride one was when I had a seizure, and I had to tell the EMT off while I was seizing.
Wow.
Because she was trying to get me to talk to her. I could not talk. So I had to wait till I got better. Then I called her supervisor and I complained.
Well, actually, I want to
Black Karen.
Oh gosh. I want to shout out Christy White. Thanks for favoring or hearting the show. I believe you're probably watching it on Facebook. Of course, Jen Myers is in the house. Hello, Jen Myers, friend number one. Some things here.
Sorry.
I'm
live on my pages.
Gremlin. Okay. Gremlin. Okay. I want to say thanks to Aisha and Lala because I know Lala has this live stream on 2 of her Facebook pages and Aisha has it broadcasting on her X page. So thank you very much. Some other housework. Primetime Saturday show store. There is the link and I'll make sure I put it out there during the conversation. Also,
new merchandise.
It's new. What new things do we have in there?
Tons of new merchandise. There's new T-shirts. There's new bags. There's one bag that says Blackalicious, like we talked about. And
love it.
Really? You went there?
Yeah.
Beach towels.
I didn't even. Okay. You see, now this is the disadvantage I have because if I want to order it, it's going to be at least 30% on the dog because I'm in Canada. Oh, but I think I may have to switch because the Blackalicious thing. I better do that.
Yeah.
Better. Well, wouldn't that be something? I putting that up on a screen. I'm all right.
Yes.
And then the other one is what is it? Bold, black, and beautiful.
Oh no, I'm black because I'm beautiful, and I'm beautiful because I'm black.
No, I do have that one ready to make for a t-shirt, but there's a coffee mug that says bold, black, beautiful.
I love it.
Wow. Maybe I'll have it shipped to the US and the next time in the US. We'll see. Whatever. Okay. Other stuff. Patreon. Always new stuff going on content-wise on Patreon. Also, join the Discord group. Email me dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button. And I felt so happy this week. I got getting like the last few YouTube shorts I've posted have had. I'm no big guy, but they're getting at least 300 to 400 views.
That's wonderful.
So I'm beginning and I'm taking education, see what trends and just stay in that lane. And also, if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on the platform or any of the platforms I host, please feel free to email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. All right, appetizers over. First conversation topic, bang. Alabama says embryos in lab are children. What are the implications?
You know what?
Well, they've stopped it right now because there is so much confusion over this. They've stopped it. And I feel for all of these families.
Yeah, because it's not an easy process to begin with. It's a surgical procedure, first of all, to extract the eggs. But saying this is like saying a molar pregnancy is a pregnancy when it's not going to develop past that state ever. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't. And I think that the fact that they did not think that this would be extended to other areas. So you're saying that people should have more babies and shouldn't get rid of them. But what about those embryos that get implanted and she miscarries? You're going to throw her into jail?
Yeah, well, that's what they're setting the precedent for. We know that. And Pence actually started his family with IVF. So for him to support something like this, because Pence came out to say he's supportive of it, is actually really asinine. I don't know what they're thinking. Nature happens. And I understand that this case was because somebody came in and dropped the petri dish. But still, the implications that is setting is very dangerous in the fact that they're just ready to arrest anyone. So if you have a natural abortion when your body expels, they want to arrest you, like they're doing in that lady's, was it Ohio case?
Ohio, yeah.
And they're taking it all the way down to embryos. Now, what happens when an embryo attaches in the fallopian tube? They're going to also charge that lady.
No, they're making you carry it term.
You can't. You'll die.
Right.
You can't.
But they want to wait till you're just about that close to your last breath before they say, "Oh yeah, you can fix this now."
I don't even think they're willing to do that.
And I'm going to say this. I don't think men should have a say on this at all, because if you've never been pregnant, you do not know how difficult that is on your body. It's a 9-month commitment. Some relationships don't last that long. It's a 9-month commitment that, you're all the symptoms. You start feeling like you have the flu. Then you can't keep your eyes open. You're wanting to eat everything. Your back hurts. You always have to go to the bathroom. Your blood pressure's sky high. You got to get this test for glucose and this one and this. And it's like your ankles swell, feet swell. And it is hard on the body. It really is. And then that's the pregnancy part. But then there's the labor part. And so I don't think that men deserve an opinion here.
No, they don't. But this has set a precedent now. And because this is a red state, Alabama, we are definitely going to be seeing the other red states follow suit. This has gone so far, so fast since they've overturned Roe versus Wade. Say that again, Aisha.
We're waiting for the Mississippi case to come through too, remember?
Well, I have my own feelings about Mississippi, period, but I'm not surprised.
It's hard enough for a couple that is struggling with infertility. Okay, and then to be told that, so what are they going to do if they don't use the embryos? Then what? You just leave them freezing for all eternity?
Well, you can't dispose of them at all, because now you're going to be arrested,
right,
and charged with murder.
And here's the thing: what doctors do when they do that, they look for the most viable embryos that will implant. So they look and see if there are genetic markers and things inside of the embryos they created that would make it a non-viable pregnancy. So if these aren't going to become children anyway, even if you try to implant them, what is the harm? It doesn't.
Well, they said that the minute that it has been fertilized, it is a baby. And this goes back to their so-called standing on Christianity stuff. Well, I'd like to know what happened to church, separation of church and state. They seem to forgot all that. All that's out the window. That doesn't even count anymore.
Well, they forgot basic biology. Basic biology. It's like, you can get pregnant a day after the job happens, right? Because it's there. It takes time. So
my next thing is, and this is really not to be crude or funny, is at this point, I feel they're even going to go after our menstrual cycles.
Well, remember,
they are that far deep.
Remember, Florida already is. We talked about this last year, where Florida passed the law that the girls who play athletics in the schools have to tell them when their menstrual cycles are, so that they can keep track of it in case they in case they get pregnant and want to have an abortion, and they can stop them. Where do we draw the line? We're
not drawing the line. And I want to know where the outrage is.
Yes, and the part that kills me is that this party here, let's be very clear, these are Republicans. It's not anybody else doing this. These are Republicans. And if your candidate for the presidency can keep his tax return secret from the American people that he's supposed to serve, why can't we
Hands
keep
off
our
my body.
Exactly.
Hands
Why
off
can't
my body.
Yes, yes. It would be nice if politicians would stay out of uteruses of women.
And that's what I got to say about that. I'm really angry. I'm angry.
What's the reason of the anger?
Because you don't have a right to tell me what to do with my body. And you don't have a right to force your religion on anyone. Yes, I am a Christian woman, but I ain't that kind of Christian woman. You understand? There's a difference now, just like there is a difference between Republicans. Like you got your Trumpsters and you've got the other ones that just keep falling in line because they're scared to death of Trumpsters. But no, you don't get to tell me what I get to do with my body. And if I don't have control over my body expelling a fetus, then I should not be afraid that I'm going to be arrested and charged with murder. This is absolutely ridiculous. How dare they even think they have any control over anybody's lives when I know damn well that each and every one of them, if they ever got pregnant by somebody they wasn't supposed to get pregnant by, that their families are going to be protected and put in shh, don't tell nobody status. But yet everybody else out here has to suffer and be scared to death over them. I don't want my daily life, my reproductive life to be controlled by anyone else. It's none of your damn business. Stay out of it.
Yeah. And the other thing too is these are the current implications. They're not seeing 25 years down the road, right? Not even 25 years, 5-10 years down the road, right? Because Gen Z, as generations get, more generations come, people are getting older having babies. Okay. So
yeah.
Gen Z is going to have a heavy reliance on IVF.
Yes, they are. People are holding off.
Yeah. I'm seeing like some, younger millennials, older millennials who are like in their 40s and now just starting to have kids.
Heck, I've seen some women in their 50s now starting a family because they can.
Janet Jackson had her baby when she turned 50.
God bless her soul. But yeah, I'm not doing that.
Are in your lenses then, are the Republicans going down a slippery slope trying to do this so close to a new next national election? Well, 45 said he didn't agree with the ruling. I
don't care what he says. I could give a Ryan whoop about him.
But wait, he was talking out of both sides of his mouth, right? Because he's never done that. On one hand, he said he doesn't agree with the ruling. On the other hand, he's proud of the fact that they got rid of Dobbs. I mean, the Dobbs decision. Now, here's the thing: if the Dobbs decision hadn't been put into play, we wouldn't be here right now where people are suing Alabama over their embryos.
So everybody's just shut down because they're scared to death.
It's right to privacy. They're going beyond. They're going to go with the birth controls. And the next thing that they're going to get rid of, then they're going to wonder this: how come the teen pregnancy rate is so high? It's back to like early 1980s rates. How did we get here? Because you got rid of birth control. But here's the thing: they're going to get rid of birth control pills, the IUD and all that other stuff for women. They will not get rid of condoms.
Nope.
I promise you. Why? Because they're for men.
That's right. What's goose? I want to say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You gonna touch my reproductive body? Then you need to be checking yours.
Well, if you're gonna take mifepristone off the market, Viagra needs to go too. Deal with erectile dysfunction. I don't care.
Yeah, so. I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious and feeling very helpless, to be very honest.
Yeah. And it's my daughter is 21 going on 22. So what if she decides she doesn't want to have kids for another 15 years?
Right.
And then she struggles with that. Then there's that hard decision, because one of the doctors was talking about on the news that in order to avoid this situation, women would have to endure several different individual procedures where the egg is extracted, then the embryos created, and then implanted. And then if that one doesn't carry, she has to go back and do it again. That is added mental anguish. Already feeling like you're a failure anyway because you can't conceive. And then to have to go through this procedure over and over and over again, just because somebody's in their feelings about, this being a baby. And
Excuse me, Mr. Paul. I can't wait for you to put this up on the screen, Dr. Vibe. Will you please put this up on the screen, Dr. Vibe?
Can't hear you, Dr. Vibe.
There he goes. Let me tell you something, sir. There's no such thing as a shameless girl and woman getting pregnant by herself. So if you're going to talk to me and us about shameless women, you better talk to your boys first. Because I'm going to tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, you just as guilty. So don't come at us with some BS, because up in here, we don't care about that. If they're coming after us, they're coming after you. If we're shameless, then you better tie your little boys up too. You hear me? You put them in check. You put them in check, because that does not even talk about rape and unwanted sexual advances. Put your boys in check. Don't come up in here with that mess. I'm not taking it.
Well, I want to know who's sleeping with these shameless girls and women.
That's what I just said.
Honestly, if you're getting with them and you're calling them shameless, then you're trifling. And that's all I have to say about that.
And there's a conversation over.
All right. Let me just catch up with some things. And nobody asked me. Guy says, hello, my friend. And then he says, we draw the line at the polls. Regina says, that is confidential information. I would never allow my daughter to give out such information.
Mm-hmm. They made it a law, but they made it a law in order for them to participate in the sports.
Okay. Regina says, hello, Dr. I happy to see you're doing well. Yeah, but so are the ladies. Just as important. Jen Myers says, doing well, Dr. Vibe. Regina also says, even Ann Coulter said that the state's legislation on birth control is a disaster.
It's a mess.
And then Man 45 knows nothing. He's just following a script sometimes.
When he can read it, right?
At this point, I'm starting to think that he has some kind of cognitive disability. It's like a tick with him that he just like blurts out the first thing that comes out. Like even when his conversation, he's like, "Well, what's happening to me is it's a form of Navalny." What does that mean? What does that mean? Do you even know? He
doesn't even know.
He doesn't even know. I'm going to throw the name out there because to let people know that I'm keeping it. Oh, God. Just
idiot. He's a village idiot. He's the country idiot. He's the world idiot. Just weird.
Paul, we're happy to have you. I'm just going to ask you one more time, like I had to do the last time. Please don't type in all caps because it looks like you're yelling at us.
Right.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure he is right now.
Yeah. So if I get the all caps again, we'll have to sort of not put it up. I'm not going to put the nobody asked me guys comment up because that's getting a little too personal. But JG Mar says, hello, good evening. What is the temperature in Colorado, my brother? What's up? What's going on in Colorado? What's the next step in this long and winding road?
If we don't speak up, they're going to continue to railroad us. I need to see outrage from women. I need to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're screwed right now is what we are.
I think we're going to have to get to a point where we tie money for things that these red states need to birth control and reproductive freedom. They need their infrastructure repaired really bad. Okay.
Yes, they do.
We'll give you the $5 billion, but you have to do this. And Democrats need to stop playing soft right now on this one. Because
on all of it, though, Aisha, every week we say that because they're not doing what they need to do. They need to get a freaking backbone. They're not doing what they need to do. Let's call it like we see it and like we know it. Now, yes, we know you're doing some good things, but you're not playing ball. These people are coming to play freaking World League, and we're playing softball. Okay, we're going to play nice. No, we're not playing nice anymore. Speak up for the American people.
I mean, they keep bringing guns to a knife fight.
Yeah.
And we're over here fighting with a butter knife.
Yep.
Or another way of saying it, playing chess versus playing checkers.
Yeah.
Well, I use the gun reference as a pun because, them in their guns.
So nobody asked me, guys, says he always had, I guess he's talking about 45, cognitive disability. It was clear when he had his first debate, white supremacy at best. Then we have Regina says he can't acknowledge Navalny's murder any more than he could acknowledge Khashoggi's murder. It is 58 degrees. And man, bring that heat up here from Colorado, man. And Regina says, or more accurately, assassinations. Paul has not used capitals. The leading causes of death in our communities is lewd women and lewd girls having lewd sex.
Can we not deal with the incel?
I'm not dealing with that because you know what? We don't get pregnant by ourselves. We don't just make ourselves pregnant. Sorry. No, sorry. Not going there.
Not to get his feelings hurt.
Okay.
And I hate to do that when I look nice tonight.
Yes, and what is the brand that both you are wearing? Before we came on live, I got a full shopping channel version of the Aisha Primetime Saturday with Aisha and La. I got a shopping moment. It was, and they're comparing I bought this from this. I bought this from this. I'm going, oh boy.
Now we're both wearing Fenty jumpsuits.
Okay.
Yes, we are. And they're so comfy.
They are.
Because we got to deal with people like Paul. We might as well be comfortable.
It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned.
Okay.
This is the second time we've done this too.
Yeah.
Because we did it once. I think we did it when we were doing our first 10 in 10.
Yes. Yes.
You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. That's too funny. All right, let's get back. No, I'm not gonna put that comment up either. But so let's get the energy back to good energy. And let's get to our next conversation topic because that one's not going to go away. That's going to be around for a while. It's just going to go on and on and on. Next up,
of course it will.
So you know what? I think it's a good time to take a break. I think it's a good time to take a break.
Have a glass of water.
Well, you have a glass. I have a liter. So we'll trade.
I have a Diet Coke. Or actually,
I didn't want to hold up my liter bottle. I wanted to be girly tonight.
Actually, it's Diet Pepsi, which I'm a Diet Coke girl, but Pepsi was on sale.
Hey, I'll take it.
My youngest sister is disowning me now until I get back to my Diet Coke.
Okay. It's break time. It's obviously break time with this shenanigans going on here. So we'll be back and something new to show you for our break time. So here we go.
And that's what I feel like. You feel like you're the Harriet Tubman of the mind.
I am.
I feel like I'm I'm one of the Harriet Tubmans of intelligent Black people. Like I want to liberate y'all from like being left behind and ignored and oblivion. No, really, the rappers get all the attention. Seriously, does anybody else feel this way? Like ignorant Black people, they'll be all up, getting all the headlines on the Shade Room.
Overly sexualized Black folks.
Like the twerkers and the just people that, don't always represent the best of us, the diversity, like people like Dr. Vibe, like everybody should know about people like Dr. Vibe. Dr.
Really
Vibe he's trying to do good work for Black people. Dr. Vibe from Toronto. Good to see you, my brother. Dr. Vibe. Everybody follow Dr. Vibe. He has a great show. He's very good at what he does, and I have a lot of respect for him. The men who are also doing the same thing. I see Dr. Vibe in here. He's a great brother. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. He's a smart brother in Canada, and we need to follow smart people. So follow Dr. Vibe if you see him in the chat. And Dr. Vibe, say your name in the chat so people can see you. I want you to click on his name, and I want you to go follow him, please, because I want these men and women that are doing the right things to get the support they deserve. Hey, Dr. Vibe, how you doing, brother? Again, like I always do, I gotta say everybody should go follow Dr. Vibe. He's got a great show. Dr. Vibe, I know Dr. Vibe's got a kingdom because I see your channel. I see you pouring into that every day. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. Look him up, Dr. Vibe, Vibe. He's a great friend of me and my wife, and I love this guy. Okay, so let me hop into this. What's up, Dr. Vibe? How you doing? Everybody, if you see Dr. Vibe in the chat, everybody go follow the Dr. Vibe show. Dr. Vibe is a real smart brother and a good human being. I like the guy a lot, and he's very intelligent. And I think everyone should pay attention to what he's got going on. We got to shine the spotlight on the intelligent Black people out here that are really doing the good work. Don't just pay attention to the rappers and the celebrities. You know, a lot of these people are losers. Your true winners are your people in your community that are really having your back. Helping us to have stronger families and a stronger community. So Dr. Vibe is in that category. So you might see the Dr. Vibe show in this chat. If you see him, please go follow him. Okay. All right. So anyway.
All right. We are back on Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. I hope that I'm glad I updated that because it may give some more time for people to let some air out of their tire a little bit.
Oh, we're good.
I know you're good. I know. Just talking about the audience too. Cinema Canella goes, "Wow, what are you going wow about?" And she goes, "Oh, recognition, Dr. Vibe. Congrats, popcorn, yellow striped smile." Okay, okay. It's all of y'all. It's not just me. It's through me. It's not about me. And love the promos. Thank you very much. All right, we are back. So let's continue on. More interesting stories going down in the America because I'm in Canada. We're going to go to our next conversation piece. Biden impeachment witness arrested again for lying to the FBI.
Let me tell you something. These what is it? What committee is it? Whatever this committee is, it's being led by Gomer Pyle.
You nailed it.
It's like they're the gang that cannot shoot straight. Every time they find a witness, something happens. Remember, the other guy that they had was a perfect witness who was Hunter Biden's business partner. Turned out he didn't say anything. Then there was the other guy, the so-called whistleblower, who now they can't find him. It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, right? That's like, where is he? Where is he? Can't find him. And then this guy gets arrested once for lying to the FBI, gets rearrested because he was about to violate something else. And all his information is not true. Not only that, but they were told it wasn't true. What is his name? Congressman Buck, who's a Republican who's leaving. He's like, no, we were told the information wasn't credible. We were told that. And it's just like, wow, if anybody can bungle something up,
it's them.
It's them. It looks like, when you see old silent movies and stuff, and people are just running around bumping into each other, and like old Charlie Chaplin movies, and they're tripping on themselves, and that's what they look like in the House.
It's a joke. It's a clown show. You remember those clown shows where they used to have the little cars and 1,000 clowns would get out? That's exactly them.
Yeah.
They roll like that. That's how they roll. They want to jump and they'll have no basis for it whatsoever. They're wasting our time. And the American people are suffering because they're not getting anything done.
They spent more time in committee on this issue in the last 2 weeks in the impeachment of Mayorkas. And they have not worked on the continuing resolution to fund the government, which comes up a week from today.
Yes.
They haven't done anything on it. And then
they're going to kick the can down the road again.
Here's the thing they said, well, we're not going to do this unless you do something strong on immigration.
We did.
I'm sorry. Did you all not see that immigration bill that the Senate sent you? That was everything that you wanted and you all turned it down? How dare you say, oh no, you need to give us something. We gave you something. But the thing is that the narrative changes, right? Where Joe Biden let them negotiate it. The narrative is Joe Biden let them negotiate it and work with them. They want to take all the credit. Of course, they want to say we forced him to do X, Y, and Z. And so
Well, let me get. There's got some comments here. Regina goes Gomer Pyle. ROFL. Do you know what RFL is?
Rolling on the floor laughing.
There you go. Right on. There you go. They didn't pay them enough. JJ Mars says it's a great waste of resources.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys. Says sadly, this continues because our black people will not go to the polls.
But here's the thing, I disagree with that on one point. All the people who are pulling these shenanigans live in majority red districts, so the black population is too small to even make a difference. That's that one thing that I have, the caveat I had to say. But the other part for me that is this is like the audacity of ignorance here with these people.
This is becoming a running word for us every week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the audacity of ignorance, because they have no shame showing their natural behinds to the world. At no shame whatsoever if it's going to put them in Donald Trump's favor. So what happens if he does get elected? What are you expecting? There are only but so many positions that he can fill. What are you?
Well, he's trying to get rid of y'all anyway because he wants to be a dictator. He done told you that's what he's going to do. He's not going to put y'all in that position.
I lived in the South for 12 years, though.
Yeah, I'm from the South. Not your districts. Your largest black populations are located in the South. Research it.
Yes, I lived in South Carolina for 12 years. There 30% of something like 40% of the black population lives in the South. However, the Congress people who are running these shows live in districts that have less than 1% black population. That was the point that I was making. I can't with these people.
But and I keep on saying this over and over again. Why are the two parties out just to get each other, not caring what's going on with the everyday American?
Okay, let me say. I don't agree with that. We have to be clear. We have to stop doing the both sidesism. It's one party. It's one party. The other party is, they've got, Democrats have shenanigans. They don't have the numbers. Okay. So it's one party. But beyond that, it's what we always say. They have lost all cognitive ability. They've lost all composure because we had one black president.
Messed them all up. We messed up for the rest of our lives. We ain't gonna see no other black president right now. They trying to get the ones we got up in Congress out right now. They can't take it. And each and every state, poor brother Joneses are just fighting so hard in Tennessee. They don't want to see us. They want us back in the fields, and they want us taking care of their babies and raising their babies while they have, Confederate balls.
It's
I said what I said.
And so at every turn, because we've had this conversation before. Remember, this whole MAGA movement stems from the Tea Party movement. Remember, Nikki Haley calls herself a proud Tea Partier. It stems from that movement. That's when things started to get very ugly.
Yes.
During the Obama McCain campaigns. And the fact that we are almost 20 years removed from that, and people are still angry. Donald Trump knew what he was doing. He knew that people were angry because he used to go to all those rallies.
He hit their pain points.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. He might not be a good salesman on his property, but I'm sorry, he can sell some BS.
He sure can, or else he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in right now. I mean, he's still very much loved, and people still buying his now $9,000 shoes that he's now getting ready to be sued over.
Oh my God, those things are so ugly.
They're atrocious.
And the fact that they had the nerve, one of his surrogates had the nerve to say, "Oh yeah, he's really making inroads with black people. Because black people are sneakers."
That I found. I don't see much on. I found that very, ridiculous and a very racist comment.
Well,
It's
of
very
course.
ridiculous
That's
and
what
very
they run on, Dr. Vibe. That's what they run on.
That-
sorry.
that- but
It's
that's
very
what they-
ridiculous and very racist. But did y'all see those sneakers?
No.
They're atrocious.
What fool is going to be putting on some gold lame, American flag, gaudy? No, those are for your people. We see how your people are dressed at the rallies.
Yep.
Those are for your people. That and then the thing about the menthol cigarettes that Joe Biden wants to ban menthol cigarettes, so we got to we're going to be able to make inroads with the Black community. Huh?
Makes no sense. That's what they think of us.
Wow. So
Next
JD
thing you know, Trump's going to go to another function of Black conservatives like he did today, and this time bring fried chicken and watermelon.
All right. JJ Mars says the Tea Party is a derivative of the Klan.
Bingo.
He hit that right on the head.
There you go.
And Moms for Liberty is a derivative of the White Citizens Councils.
Wow. Okay. All right, let's move on. Letitia James from New York State.
Oh, I love her.
This made me happy. I'm sorry. This story made me so happy.
I'm like, do it.
She said, we will come for his assets. I have my eyes on whatever the address was. Yep. It's like, I'm coming for your Trump Tower.
It makes me so happy.
And guess what?
Because she'll do it. She will do it. She ain't playing. And she's like, I look at that building every single day. I ain't afraid to take it.
Mm-hmm. He has 28 days to cough up $450 million.
Aisha, do you think he's going to come up with it?
No, I
don't think so either. I really don't.
I think the judgment's going to stand because you're not going to raise that kind of money selling $399 sneakers or cologne that smells like ketchup. You're just not going to do that. I don't think that Ivanka's not going to let him borrow it. They want nothing to do with him. Okay.
No.
Melania, if I was her, I would be trying to get out right now while you could still.
I think she is. I honestly think she is.
Your money from the prenuptial agreement. Beavis and Butthead, they don't have that amount of money because they got to pay their own $4 million.
They got to pay their own fee because they got in trouble too. They got to pay their own. They ain't got it.
So I wonder if but see, that's the thing. He won't even necessarily be able to get a loan on the properties because remember, he has that administrator whose permission he has to ask first. I thought, they did this tactic, delay tactic yesterday. They thought they were so clever by changing the address on the form to the Florida address for Trump Tower, thinking that once they got that, they could be like, oh, wait a second, the paperwork's wrong. Let's go back and do this again. And we have longer period of time. The judge was like,
He is not playing.
He said, this is the wrong address. Fix it.
This, you're not playing these shenanigans. And I really love that he's not playing around. I really do. He is standing firm and standing with the law. And I think that he is doing a great job.
Yeah. Like when my friend says he's not with the SHITS. He's not with it. He's not.
Mm-mm. No.
So Tisha's on the hunt and gonna go for it.
Oh my gosh. New York City is gonna have some nice properties.
Oh, they sure are.
I think the first thing they need to do that Trump Tower is get rid of all that daggone gold.
Oh,
we'll see.
Everything.
What is this fascination with gold toilets, gold decor, gold tennis shoes?
God, it's like the 80s came into his building and blew up.
That's atrocious. I just can't wait to see how this plays. I'm more excited than a Christmas, kid on Christmas night with this because Letitia's not playing. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, and he's so mad. I love the fact that it was a Black woman that took him down.
Oh yeah, and he hates that.
She came through in the clutch by Fonnie's having her issues right now, but
Yes, she did.
She came through in the clutch and is like, yeah, I got you. Her case was
Mhm.
very straightforward. And the fact that she got everything that she wanted and then some, $100 million in back interest going back to 2019, plus it's $111,000 every day, the interest alone.
Wow.
So until he,
I can't even think that high. It's really, you get to the billions and the millions. I'm like, okay, I just, I don't need that in my life.
It's so funny because I was playing Monopoly Go on my phone yesterday, and I got up to $1 billion. I'm like, wow, too bad it's not real money because Trump could really use some of this.
Okay, you guys are just crazy.
I had more money in a game than he has in real life.
Okay, I'm okay. Let me. I'm going to bring up a conversation topic that we didn't have, but I think because of some comments that have come up during the conversation, I want to get. So there's subject Black liberals and Black conservatives, and the reason why I want both of you to chime in on this is nobody asked you guys said, what is your take on Black conservatives? Mm-hmm. And then J.G. Marr said the nobody asked you guy said too many Black conservatives are well-paid puppets like Thomas Sewell. And then he also asked, don't forget that dark minority that's hiding out there. And then J.G. Marr said there are also many Black liberals that are totally controlled by the Democrats. So I thought it may be good to bring up this conversation topic.
Well, if you get a chance, get this book. It's by Clay Cane. It's called The Grift, The Downward Spiral of Black Republicans from the Party of Lincoln to the Cult of Trump. I'm reading it. And he makes that point in the book. One of the things that he says is that the Black conservatives are on the take.
Yeah,
they're on the take. They've weighed their options of, they can stand with people or they can be wealthy. There's an either or there. The idea of a Black liberal is funny because it's kind of like asking Black women, why are you feminist? And a Black woman responds, I'm not a feminist, I'm a womanist, because that is the phrase that comes from our community, when we established our own first wave feminism. And so I'm thinking that Black liberals aren't always in lockstep with Democrats. There are a lot of issues that I take with what the party does. But I think that I know we have to get out the mindset of the lesser of two evils. But right now, I am more afraid at what happens when conservatives take over. Mm-hmm. Because if this man wins, we're not going to have another election.
No, we're not.
The Voting Rights Act, he's going to make sure it's completely gutted. Mm-hmm. Okay. And not only that, but he's going to put one more person on the Supreme Court because Alito is supposed to be leaving.
Yes. So
we've already seen what happened when he put people on the Supreme Court, right? There's no balance of power there. So this is a decision that we have to make that's greater than ourselves. It's a position that's the sum of us, all of us. We have to be mindful on that. Now, there are some Black liberals I think just like go way too far.
Way too far. But the way too far is thinking that they fit into this narrative of what this GOP is. They believe that they are no different, and they believe all the lies that they allow a certain amount of people to get around them. And that's a good old boy. I got a Black friend. Oh, I'm your Black friend. I'm good to go. I know you care about me. They don't care about you.
But the fact that Tim Scott thinks that he's equal to Donald Trump, when Donald Trump looks at Tim Scott and does not see him as an equal, it will never be lost on me that this man chose this. He chose to be demoralized. He
Yes.
chose to because we talked about this too. How did he not think that girlfriend was not going to have that girlfriend? He brought that girlfriend out to a party where race is their biggest problem. And you think that the party people didn't call him and be like, it's over. It's over. You got to.
Right.
Because it's like the next day he was out. So
Yep.
what was the whole point in bringing her out? It's
a farce. It's smoke and mirrors, and they are living in a fantasy world that they think that they're going to be equals to these party when they will never have any intention, only except for when they want to put them up on a pedestal and make it look like they are all inclusive when they are not. Look at what's going on with Daniel Cameron. My man had to step down, lost his election. Mitch was on. He thought he had it in the pocket. But Cameron is going to find out very quickly who he is, and Mitch is not going to be able to continue to protect him. So he can join all these companies, this anti-woke companies, until they're ready to show him what anti-woke really means.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's like, the fact that Tim Scott would shine Donald Trump's shoes if he asked in exchange for the VP nod should be alarming to every person.
Yeah.
Because white supremacy can exist on its own, but do you have to support it? Do you have to feed into it? Do you have to become a stereotype? He is like a walking stereotype, period.
And anytime I talk to a Black conservative, their main thing is always business. Well, you follow a man who is as crooked as the day is long and
bankrupt so many times. Remember,
that's where I was going.
Remember in the 80s, he had the casinos in Atlantic City, bankrupted all of them. Trump Air bankrupted it. Trump Water bankrupted it. Trump Steaks bankrupted. So it's like business on what? Business is a coded word for saying he's like me, a racist.
Yeah. What's that old thing? Hassan.
And JJ Mars says, yep.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up this added on segment, Black liberals, Black conservatives, any difference?
I mean, ideologically, yes. I mean, here's the thing. Black conservatives have to give up a lot of their dignity in order to just be around this party, and they have to know that the party is not going to protect them or come to their defense at all on the racism. Case in point, Nikki Haley. Okay, she's still a Republican after somebody used a slur in her own party when she was running for governor.
She can care less.
Black liberals, on the other hand, can walk away from voting for Democrats and not be burdened with anything, because guess what? There are a ton of other liberal parties that don't always get in the ticket. There's a Green Party, there's a Working Families Party. Oftentimes they are cross-listed. So it seems there are more options for Black liberals in terms of finding their authentic voice and where they fit in than there are for Black conservatives. Black conservatives are constantly having to wear a mask. It's like that Paul Laurence Dunbar, or is it Paul Laurence Dunbar, or Lacey's, I keep forgetting. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our teeth and shades our eyes. That's what Black conservatives are doing.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for being flexible, for me just bringing on a topic right to your attention and handling it as gracefully and as complete as you always do. Let's look at our next conversation piece. And Lala brought this one up. Hold up. Is this black Florida surgeon playing a political game with our children's lives? Lala, talk about
It falls right into what we just talked about. Here is another black man, Joseph Lapato, or whatever his name, Surgeon General of Florida, who is falling into the whole ridiculousness of unvaccinated people have a right to still be in the general public and spread other things. Now, there is it's an alarming amount of mumps and measles going on in Florida. There was 6 in one school, one elementary school. And he came out and said, unvaccinated parents who don't want your children they're unvaxxed, it's okay. Go ahead and send them to school because this is no threat to you. We know for a fact that this is a threat to children, but yet you still want to continue to push an agenda. You've been at this agenda a very long time. And then, of course, they really jumped into the agenda with the COVID. And you know, they were one of the first states who was like, send them all to school. They need to get it anyway. You know, it didn't matter what they thought. But he is just another puppet. He and DeSantis, Satan, are in the same bed, and they work together very closely, and they're putting our children at risk. Mumps and measles is not normal. No, you do need to have vaccinations.
We almost eradicated it.
Exactly. But now here you are letting it come back. Now, I also heard, so this is going to be very interesting because I believe it was in Colorado, there is a case of bubonic plague. So you want to tell me that when the bubonic plague gets down to these states down in Texas and Florida and Mississippi and Alabama, that you're not going to want people to be vaccinated or quarantined from that? Because if COVID didn't scare you enough, and now you want our children to go and be exposed to it, I see that there is no cutoff for this. But yet, when that happens, you're gonna want some kind of assistance and cause some kind of emergency, and then you're gonna play funny. I don't want government money. So y'all need to be careful. Listen, you need to have your children vaccinated. I know it's your choice, but if you're not going to have them vaccinated, do not expose them to things that could make them very, very ill or even die. You are risking your children's lives, period. And this man should be ashamed of himself, but they don't. They have no shame in their game. So now you need to make the decision on what you're going to do. Florida, we know what you're going to do because you follow everything that they do down there, Mr. Red State. Like I said, where's the Bug Bunny song? So I'm off. Get them by.
But the part I have a problem with these parents not wanting to vaccinate their kids, like, oh, because this and this is gonna happen. It's like, you're okay.
Yep, you got vaccinated. Your butt was vaccinated.
We're okay.
And some of us still have the scar.
Look,
wow.
Some of us couldn't go to school unless we were vaccinated. I remember I couldn't go into 9th grade unless I had that vaccination.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Why this is so hard.
Because they're turning it into something that it's not. And that's their whole agenda. Everything is me, me, me. You're trying to take my rights away. You're trying to blah, blah, blah. When we used to think for the general public, we might have had differences. Growing up, I know I've had differences with people, but we all agreed for the good of the commonwealth. Each other. We may not agree on our politics, but when it comes to things like taking care of our elderly, making sure that our children are okay, getting the vaccinations, we all work together on this. But now we've become such a society of you are wrong and I am right, and you can't take my rights away from me. Not thinking that you're also, the other person is having their rights taken away from them too, that I don't see a solution.
Well, here's the other thing, not letting everyone know our ages, but remember,
I'm 54.
Yeah, and I'll be 50. But remember when we were younger, you knew you were going to get the chicken pox. At some point, you knew it was going to happen.
And it was horrible.
My daughter did not have to grow up knowing that because they have a vaccine now for chickenpox. We've got 2 living generations that had a vaccine for chickenpox. Okay, you don't send your kid to school now and really worry about a chickenpox outbreak. And I think it's reckless behavior, and I think the Nobody Asked Me guy brings up a good point. And the answer to that is because these diseases are considered airborne.
Yeah. Don't forget us loose women.
So Regina says there are about 10 required vaccines for K-12 students in New York State. Nobody Asked Me guy show says, if that is so, why do people get prosecuted for knowingly spreading, quote, sexually transmitted diseases, unquote?
And but their answer is that you actually have to engage in that activity to do it. The other diseases are airborne. Because I asked that question before, and I had to go and ask a medical professional about that, because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Maybe this is the way that we can go. It's ridiculous. And personally, but guess what? They've come up with vaccinations for those too. The HPV vaccine. There's a herpes thing, but they have those. So I don't understand why you take this brand new life that you have, brand new life with a very fragile immunity system, and you bring it out into the world with a whole bunch of dirty, nasty people, and then you can't figure out why your baby's sick. If anything we learned from COVID is that people are not washing their hands.
Nope.
They're not,
I'm telling you right now, I've been seeing more and more people come up out of these bathrooms out in the public. I don't hear no water running. They're right back to the same thing. And I want to go and grab them so bad, like, say the ABCs, don't wash hands. It's just basic, simple stuff. People now have become dependent on this, what do you call it? The antibacterial thing. No, wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Let me tell you something. The proper way to wash your hands in a public restroom is to soap and water it for 30 seconds at least. Dry it off, put some hand sanitizer on, dry it off, get a paper towel to hold the door open.
Hold the door open
with the paper towel and throw it away. Then use some more hand sanitizer. I hate public restrooms. That is my process.
I hate them with a passion.
That is my process.
Okay.
And I still feel dirty after I leave them.
Wow. All right. Let's move on to the world of Lala, Sora AI.
Ow. Guys, this is so cool and so freaking scary at the same time. I mean, I was, the minute they announced it, I immediately went and wanted to try it. And it's not open to the public yet. ChatGPT is only rolling it out to their beta testers and their red level users. But they put out the videos that they created with text to video, and they are absolutely amazingly realistic. And you'll be able to do at least 60 seconds at a time. And what they're saying is they're not quite ready to roll it out to everyone because they want to try to put some guidelines out about its use. And along with that, I will say that many of these platforms that are social media platforms have put in new rules that you're not allowed to do this at all with any kind of political figures or anything like that. They're trying to figure out how to do that. But we all know that the cat's been let out of the bag. I don't see how they're going to control that. But this is such an amazing thing that people are rethinking how they're going to be able to use this and lessen their cost on their businesses and Tyler Perry completely stopped on his production company remodel and building, which was like an $86 million project or something like that. 800. Yeah. And he has stopped because he feels like he doesn't know where this is going to go. And, why build something that you already feel is going to be moot in the first place, because you don't know where this is going. So I can see this being good, but I also can see this as being used as bad. We've already seen how the voice can be used, what they did with Biden's voice, which is also a story we're tying into this, with the robocalls. So now you're going to be able to create people, and they've been around for years, guys. Let's not pretend that this hasn't been around for years. Deep fake has been around for a very long time, and it has lost political parties their presidencies in other countries. But this is for the everyday user. This is for people who like me. I would use it in my business. You understand? I'm going to be able to use this in my business to create videos about homes and education and things of that nature. And then on the days that I want to put my face on the camera, I can do that and use my voice. So for business purposes, I'm excited about it, but I'm also very frightened about what else this is going to cause in our world, because we've already started seeing problems with just the voice.
Well, we had this conversation about 2-3 months ago too, with people using AI to generate pedophiles, using AI to generate pornographic material of children.
Yes.
I see with this, them doing that and then selling it.
Yes. And then they're going to say it's not real, so therefore they can't be prosecuted for it. It's AI.
But the problem is that AI is based on
what we feed it.
Modeling. It's what we feed it into it. But the people who are coding it are taking from existing images and things that are available to them. And biases.
Let's be very clear on biases. Let me give you an example. I am in several groups about AI images, and we talk a lot about how they get our culture, and the Hispanic culture and the Native American culture and the Asian culture all wrong. So here's a perfect example. They put in a prompt, an innocent prompt. They were really trying to get a really nice picture of Mother Teresa fighting poverty. Okay. What came out of that was absolutely horrendous. Mother Teresa's fighting like Muhammad Ali, and she's fighting children from Africa. So that's what it changed it to. Poverty equated to Black children in Africa. So it is extremely biased, and it's everything that people are feeding it, but it doesn't have it right. And another example with certain things like ChatGPT. I don't know if y'all know this story about diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging the scene. Okay, right? That's not Curtis Mayfield, but everybody thinks it's Curtis Mayfield. So much so that if you ask ChatGPT about that, it will tell you it's Curtis Mayfield.
It's William Devon.
It's not.
It's William Devon.
So it is what it is, what you feed it. And AI can be used for good. I'm going to say there is good and bad for everything. But right now, I'm really frightened for the bad that can be used for this. This is going to be a very dangerous thing. And this is also going to cause, and people keep saying, it's not going to take your jobs, whatever. Yes, it will. In some cases, it will take your job.
I need to jump in just a few things, catch up on comments. Justice Anderson's good. Thank you. Good evening. Sir, AI does have some cool effects, needs filtering and blocking mechanisms to monitor it. Linda Anderson, 313 Detroit in the building. What is up, Detroit? And then Tony, Black God, Kronos King Monolith. AI doesn't see Black faces or primate faces. So a few things.
That's a racist post.
Yeah.
It's a very racist post, and you can go on somewhere with that. We don't deal with that here.
So
we can tell by your name that you quacked out, dude. Bye.
But no, I just want to jump in for a second here. If people don't think it's the future or the present, Why did Tyler Perry say, I'm not building this $800 million thing? The guy, he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he does.
Right?
Yes, he does.
Yep.
And with the Hollywood strikes and the Hollywood things, they still haven't addressed. See, what they have put a Band-Aid on, and I want to be very clear about that. And the music industry didn't even bother to put a Band-Aid on it. It's already out the bag. People are making a lot of money off of AI music.
Right.
Don't believe me? Go check it out. Yeah. Is the fact that they're chasing rainbows. You can't put a Band-Aid on something that has already been let out of the bag. So they may have protected themselves from what they knew at the time. And now with this new technology, they don't need you. Make you an avid video background screen and get your background cast and your stand-ins. And people are making money. Bank on women on OnlyFans with fake characters and voices. Oh, honey, no, this is done.
Well, here's the other thing too, is that, this is going to go the way that television went. Remember after the 2008 strike, during that time, where did studios put all their money? Reality TV, to the point that we have so many more reality shows than we do actual scripted programs.
I stopped watching.
This is going to be that, where you're going to probably see more animated looking films, different films that are just not the quality of what you would have with live people, but it will be cheaper to produce. And so that is what they will do.
Yep. And that's what they're going to do.
Well, I'm going to take a lens on this, that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And here's the concern. What are Black people are we going to miss out on this? Well, in a way, we have missed out because we don't control it.
Yeah.
So right
exactly.
from the get-go. And so I've just wondered, I think the best thing that people can do is embrace it and learn how
they're going to have to.
Yeah.
Well,
but Aisha and I did talk about this a few weeks ago, where there is a Black program, and she is determined to teach our children and the community, not just our children. She's opening this education up to Black communities because she does not want to see them left behind. And that's what's going to happen. But if Black people don't embrace this, they need to embrace this. This is going to be the future.
It's the now. Look.
I already know. I'm using it.
I've said
there's actually a Black AI platform called blackauthors.com.
Aisha, not yet. You know what? I did some research. I don't think they're really Black owned.
Really?
Well,
that's another thing, guys. We want to call your attention to. I'm glad you brought that up, Aisha, because I started doing that research, and it led me to some dead roads. It led me to certain people, but they won't answer me. So what is happening is, because AI has such a problem with our skin tones and everything else, there are many people who know how to prompt correctly that are selling prompts to the Black community that are not our community. Just like when it comes to our hair and all that stuff, and they put it out and they push it and they put Black faces in front of it. But when you do the digging, it's not really them. So I want us to dig a little bit more into that one, Aisha, to make sure we're telling them correctly on that one.
Well, I do know this for a fact. The National Association of Black Journalists, they advertise with them.
Good.
That's where I got that from.
Good. Well, I'm glad, because when I was trying to find the exact source, it led me to one Black owner.
That don't mean
that just still didn't sit right with me.
I tested it and worked. With it.
We have to take that one offline. I want to hear some of the investigative stuff that Lala did, because just like NABJ can be duped too.
No. I have a membership. That's why. That's why I got it from. I was on the portal when I saw that. But it's black. Well, it is what it is. It's targeting black people.
Targeting black and black owned are two different things.
Right. But my point is that it's not necessarily an easy site to use. It's not as
really.
No, the comfort level I have with Chat GPT versus that one, it's not prompting. The prompts don't work. It's different.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. You have to, and you have to be able to feed it correctly in order to get what you need out of it.
Okay. Well, both ladies. Well, I'll show you something offline. It'll take you to the next level with Chat GPT. But that I've got a really good example of how you can really take it to the next level. That is one of those things that you really got to take a look at. Nobody asked me. I said 60 minutes.
How did he come back in?
60 minutes.
He probably has another account.
So, I did something. No, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. Nobody asked me, guys, said 60 minutes. He mentions how to document on AI and just how expertly they can copy your voice. Just imagine how they can ruin people's lives with false voice allegations admitting to crimes.
Well, that's what the guy that did this call of the Biden robocall, he claims that Dean Phillips, who is running for in a Democratic primary that no one's running in but him and maybe Tulsi Gabbard. And it just, he said it took him literally 10 minutes to spoof Biden's voice.
Yeah. And he got paid like $150 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, this is a thing. And again, I think that maybe the best thing, invest in some AI stocks. Maybe that's the best way you're going to get benefit and learn it. There's a lot of good people, reputable people. If you don't know who to take a look at, contact me offline. I can give you some people who I feel are reputable when it comes to AI and all that, but it's moving fast and furious. Right.
Well, I have to say, like, the thing with ChatGPT that I do like is I use it to help me write outlines for things. Mm-hmm. And as I've been working with it for the last several months, it really has honed into my style of phrasing things. And you can actually train it on your style yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I like,
especially for the paid version.
Yes, I do.
Very much so.
Yeah, I like that fact. Now, with some of the other AI sites that I've tried to experiment on, I don't see that kind of flexibility. They're not there yet.
Well, you know what?
No, they're not.
There's some long-term sites like, I would say, Adobe better watch out.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these sites that have been around for creating videos and all that, like text stock videos, they're done.
But that's why Canva was one of the first to get into doing AI, right. Before ChatGPT blew up, because they've integrated it. They've integrated their systems.
Once they're gonna be very interesting. Some long-term players in the game of creating stock videos, like your Adobes, Canvas. What are they gonna do? Because I'm gonna
tell you right now, I'm actually playing around with a lot of the fun AI stuff with Adobe. But they're not keeping up. They're not as good as like Filmic Pro and all those other things that are out there. They're lagging behind and they're already suffering. Matter of fact, Adobe is struggling right now. And they're really trying to get on top of things, but they need to jump about 10 more steps before they're going to be able to even keep up.
Well, I know a lot of creators that can't stand Adobe. They love the features. They say it's too darn costly.
But you know, here's the thing with this that I worry about. We already saw what was happening with Black creators on TikTok, having their dances, their words, their content Columbus, shall we say? This is what is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, at this point, we got to go back old school, start trademarking and copywriting your stuff.
Yeah.
Because once this gets out of hand, you're not going to be able to, can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah. Like, and I'm open. I use an AI software called Opus Clip. And what it does,
Yeah.
basically, if you are not aware, it takes your long form content and it creates short form content from your long form content.
It does a good job.
And uses AI and also gives you transcription and all that. So any like, and there's an intern that's going to be helping me out. He's in our green room right now. You better learn how to do those things and bring those services to someone who doesn't know how to do it and say, hey, I know how to do this. I know how to use it, instead of doing it. And they're going to probably expect it a little bit faster now because you're using AI, but at least know it and then offer your service. Hey, I'm an Opus Clip expert. Offer that to companies. That's the way you got to position it.
And it's like what you said about the jobs. A lot of people are going to be losing jobs. We got the first glimmer of that 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, when all the writers from various major publications were terminated.
Yeah.
Because you would think, well, why would they do that? They need people to report. Nope, they have AI. And I think we showed the video of the whole AI newscast.
Yes, yes, I've seen that. Yes, someone did it. Yeah, and that's coming. That's it. It's here. Like maybe the future of Dr. Vibe is in the balance.
No, because people love us.
Yeah,
and they want to real us.
They like me. They love you both. I know they like me. They love you both. I don't know if they like me at all, but I think there'll still be a lens for content creators. But again, making it personalized. Some people will just take the straight facts, but when it comes to emotion, and it's highlights what someone said to me a long time. He said, Dr. Vibe, if you want to deliver straight facts, use the digital, use text, use email. But when it comes to emotion, it's always better to have that human element. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that.
I mean, that's the reason why C-SPAN is so boring. It lacks emotional depth when they're dealing with issues that have to affect the lives of Americans.
All right, let's end off with something from the early digital world. And actually, we got a comment here. Let me just see if someone has a comment.
I agree,
says, AI will eventually reshape, but it already is.
I agree.
It already is. It already is. Actually, there was a very good and today I actually watched a bit of Dr. Boyce today, and he was talking about this all, and he said, I don't know if this was real. I don't know if it was a meme or a created clip that, you have a lot of skilled workers, right? And now, isn't it funny now that a lot of people who are white collar will now will be offering their services because the skilled workers say, hey, I don't need you. I can get my taxes done or whatever done by AI. I don't need, right? So it's almost like a reversal of the labor market.
Yeah.
Right. The skilled workers are they'll have, I guess, the hiring power that, whereas a lot of white collar people go, can I offer you to do this? Can I offer you to do this?
Right.
Interesting perspective. All right. Last conversation piece of the night. There's a tour happening. Who remembers A Different World?
Love it.
It's what made me want to go to HBCU.
So the cast is reuniting for a 10-city HBCU tour. It's over 35 years since the show's premiere. What do you think?
I'm excited.
I am
because I love the show. It really tackles some good stuff, and I would love to see their faces again.
I know. I love that show. It was definitely better to me the second season on. I didn't really feel like Lisa Bonet's character really fit in. I think they got their groove after she left the first season.
I do too. I think everything was centered around her too much in that first season. But then the direction that it took after she left was a great direction. Not that I didn't love the first one too.
Yeah, but that's when they brought in Debbie Allen too to direct.
Yeah.
So having gone to an HBCU, she was able to show that the vivaciousness of it, and just what a wonderful experience it is. And it literally is very realistic. It is very realistic.
And it ran for 6 seasons from September 24th, 1987 to July 9th, 1993. The series is a spin-off from The Cosby Show centered on Denise Huxtable, Lisa Bonet, and a list of students at Hillman College, a fictional HBCU in Virginia. Bonet left after the first season, as did Marissa Tomei and Loretta Devine. Future stars who appeared on the sitcom included Jada Pinkett Smith and Karen Molina White, among others.
I love it.
That's gonna do very well.
Yeah, I just can't believe that it's been
35 years.
Yeah, it's
Oh
quite
my God.
amazing.
Every Thursday.
And you better be ready too, because I mean that, you know, there were just some things that when we came up with, you ran to the TV for, you know, even if you had your VCR. Yes, we had our VCRs. It's just something about seeing it that night, and I love it.
And everybody was sitting there watching it together, undistracted.
Well, you know what's crazy too? There are people who are probably watching this or listen to this live or on replay that never saw that show.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure.
Like
Well, now's your chance. Go back, because I'm pretty sure they're going to run they're probably going to run all the reruns.
TV One plays it every day from 4 p.m. until about 8 o'clock p.m. every day, Monday through Friday.
It's also streaming on Max.
I love it.
I still watch Different World.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow.
I still watch it.
Okay. All right. So there you go.
Yeah.
So a happy thing for many people. Well, again, I have been told that, and I said to the ladies before we went live, Whitley can't use her voice in that show because it's basically she doesn't have permission to, because Warner Brothers owns it.
I'm just tripping on that. I'm just not ready for that.
Get AI to spoof the voice, and she can say it wasn't me.
It's gonna be interesting how they get around that.
Because people want to hear that voice.
Dwayne.
People want to hear that voice, or but I got to find out more behind that tour. Who's behind it? Who's producing it? Who's gonna get money? There's a lot of moving parts behind that. I need to know about a little bit more. How's it, royalties, this, that, appearances. Now that I'm gonna do some digging in on that. I'm very curious.
Well, I think they still are held by their original contracts where they have those things. But one of my favorite episodes is the one where Diane Carroll and Patti LaBelle are playing Whitley and Dwayne's mothers.
Yes.
And they just go back at it, back and forth. I love that. Diane Carroll was actually really good as Whitley's mother.
I know. I love her, period. So
me too.
But you're a Diane Carroll fan?
Yeah, I do. I love her. I absolutely love her. And I I fell in love with her when she was on Dynasty. Because she was just because I was a little girl then, and so when my mother was very big into Dynasty, and I just, when she came on and just her regalness and her beauty and the way that she carried herself, I just was like, And then of course, as I got older, I was able to go back and look at a lot of her earlier stuff, which was still just as regal and down to earth and just a beautiful lady. And I always thought she was just absolutely amazing.
The cat fights with her and Joan Collins.
Woo, girl, my favorite.
They were nice, nasty friends.
Yeah.
Dynasty. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
John Forsythe.
We changed how we're doing our cable and all that stuff. Got rid of the cable. That way we have DirecTV streaming to get the regular live stuff, but on Roku TV and Pluto TV, they have like different channels that they play. Look, I sat and watched that Dynasty channel overnight just to have the sound on, and I was like, wow, they got Murder She Wrote channel, Matlock. I'm in heaven. I'm like, I didn't get rid of cable sooner.
Yeah.
And they've got a ton of true crime ones. There's a
Oh.
Dateline channel. A Dateline channel.
Love it. And let me say, not only do I like the Dateline channel, I will listen to it on podcast. That's how
Yes.
much I'm into true crime.
Yes.
I'm really in it. I'm in it.
And Josh Mankiewicz, Keith
Morrison.
Keith Morrison is still real good.
Yeah,
talk about a voice. Oh, still Canadian born. Hello. And there's
I do get to make a few comments with Josh from time to time on Twitter.
And there's a lady on Dateline. She's a blonde. What's her name?
Diane Sawyer?
No, Dateline. Dateline.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Andrea. Is that's her name?
With the shortish blonde hair?
Yeah. She's Canadian born also, by the way. I found that out.
I can't remember her name, but I love it. There's so many different true crime channels. I don't know which one to watch first, and
it might have two going at the same time.
Lala, I didn't know that you were a true crime person too.
I love it. Love it.
I knew Aisha was big time.
I'm big time. See, we got more than Fendi in common.
We had this conversation. Monday nights between 9 and 11, there's one place you will find me and you cannot pull me from it. TV One, watching Fatal Attraction. And right now, For My Man, I can't wait till they bring ATL Homicide back.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah.
I like to see people get their justice. That is my thing. I think that's what it is for me. Yes. I love to see people think they got away with something and you did not. I don't care if it was 50 years later, you got caught.
Right. And somebody asked me that question. Why do you like, I said, because I like to see people get justice. I like to see people held accountable for that. You get to learn a little bit about the person's life that was taken, and then you get to see the process that it takes to close a case.
Yes.
And what
families go through.
Yes. And not only that, but these families that participate in these things, they want people to know what happened to their loved ones, because it's a way of trying to warn you to be careful for these signs and this and whatever. And so I just love it. I especially love the black ones. So, like I sit there all the time. Like ID has Murder Chose Me. I love that one. I didn't choose that. Murder Chose Me.
Andrea Canning. Andrea Canning is her name.
Okay.
She was born about an hour and a half drive from where I live.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Collingwood, Ontario. Yeah. Collingwood, known for Blue Mountain Ski Resort. That's where she was born. So there you go. All right. We went from true crime to different crimes to Sora to 45 to
fraudulent crimes.
Yeah.
We went from true crime to 91 counts crime.
Oh my!
I want to do a public service announcement to Donald Trump. It's like, you know what? If you're going to crime, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it.
Okay, one last question before we exit out. Fanny done?
No.
No.
Oh, I think she's done. Okay,
well,
she's
but
done.
Remember who the source is of this information.
There you go.
The same people who can't get their witness wherever he is across the world, other witness arrested for lying. So yeah.
I think Fanny's done, and now she's been caught allegedly in lies. It's just not a good look, but we'll see. All right.
And honestly, let's be very clear. If Trump is not one that was going to hide that, if he had the tape, he would have it aired. It would have aired on Fox already.
Okay. Still think she's done. All right, we're done. Ladies, thank you as always for taking the time to make it all happen. So before we let them leave, it's time for contact information. Lala.
You can find me everywhere at Living the La La Life, including I have a blog now at Rebirth, Buy Me a Coffee at Rebirth of Lala. So if you want to join me over there, come on over. And if you like what I got to say, buy me a coffee.
All right. Aisha K. Staggers.
That's me on Instagram.
But more.
But the best way to find me is on the Discord channel.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much, ladies. It is a done deal. And with myself, these are all the places that you can find me. Website, the drvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the space, dr period space, vibe space, show space. Instagram, the drvibeshow. And then finally, X, when I'm occasionally, once in a while on there, at drvibeshow. So a few things also. You can catch replays of Primetime at the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Also on the Dr. Vibe Show website, the drvibeshow. What else do we have? So a few things. Let's cover it off here. Again, Primetime Saturday show store. Address is there on the screen. It's also, I've sent it out on the comment sections. There is the Patreon. Sign up. Discord group. Send me an email, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. And also the notification button, and then follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And as always, if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on the platform, please feel free to email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. So that's it, family. As always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith. And thanks for watching live or on the replay. And thanks for listening on the replay. And thank you again to all the fly, Nubian Queen people jumping in. We appreciate you. Take care.